Okay, I think we'll get going. Thanks for everyone for joining. So this is our second call for our R&D Partnership Fund that we're launching in partnership with the City Region Combined Authority and Growth Platform. So Claire is here from the Growth Platform team today. And yeah, we'll talk through kind of what the competition is all about, the support on offer from us and the funding. So I'll get started. So agenda for today, we'll do a quick intro to LYVA Labs and the Growth Platform High Growth team and how those two organisations work together, and how we're slightly different in what we do. We'll explain a bit about what the R&D Partnership Fund is all about, how we see the fund supporting people on their R&D journey, what funding's on offer, both from us and also the associated partners that we've got involved in this competition. So there's specific R&D partners that we've called out and are highlighting some of the funds that they have available that can make projects bigger. And ultimately, that's what we're looking to try and achieve. And then what are the next steps for applying and what does that process look like? So that's the plan. I'll quickly hand over to Claire first, just to give an outline of the Growth Platform High Growth team, which is quite well aligned to us as LYVA Labs and how we kind of work together. So Claire, if you want to do that.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot, Joe. Nice to see it. Well, can't see anybody, but nice to get the opportunity to speak to you all this afternoon. So the Growth Platform is the Liverpool City Region's growth company. We are wholly owned by the Combined Authority and were set up to act as a standalone service to support businesses to realise their potential and generate growth. So we oversee and coordinate all the business support across the Liverpool City region, and our role is to strengthen and simplify the business landscape to make sure that you as individuals and as businesses can access the full range of advice and support that is available. So you are probably aware that previously most of the programmes of support were funded through European programmes, which all came to an end last year. The new regime is the UK Shared Prosperity Fund, which LYVA Labs is partly funded through. And the priorities are to support businesses in the priority areas of decarbonisation, which fits in really nicely with today's theme, leadership and management, innovation, supply chain, inward investment and international trade. At the Growth Platform, we directly deliver the programmes around supply chain, inward investment and international trade. And then we very much work closely with all the partners in all the other areas, hence being here today to support Joe with this particular programme. So on the High Growth team, of which I'm part of, what we do is we offer impartial advice to any business from any sector that is already showing high growth or has the ability to grow, kind of in the region of 20% year on year. In the main, this will be established businesses that have already demonstrated growth, as I've just said. However, it's not necessarily prescriptive depending on what your ambitions are. For example, we're currently working with a spin out from one of the universities that secured $500,000 of investments and they're pre-revenue. So there's no hard and fast rules here. So we have knowledge of the entire ecosystem. So what that means is we're not tied to any particular programme. So as with programmes, usually, you've got to do a particular agenda of work, or you've got to do 12 hours or something like that. With this high growth programme, it's as much or as little as you need. If it's a one-off intervention, that's great. If it's a series of meetings over a couple of years, that is also absolutely fine. There's no end to this unless you actually want it to be ended. So we'll do an intensive diagnostic of your whole business to understand your current position, your business model, your issues and challenges, and then work alongside you to develop a personalised action plan and a growth plan. Like it says there, will be a critical friend throughout your growth journey and help you navigate the business support system. So it's very much intended to be a wraparound service. So you might dip in now with Joe on this particular programme We can help you throughout the programme, or we can just wait and pick you up at the end. Or indeed, if this isn't right for you at the moment, if having listened to Joe today you think, well, that's actually not right for me, or I'm not eligible for this, absolutely get in touch with me and we can have a look at what else is out there that's more suitable for you at the moment and work on a plan to help you access that. So yeah, if you'd like to have a conversation with us, you can see the email there and our email address, and I'll pop my personal email into the chat as well so that you can contact me direct if you want to. Okay, thanks a lot, Joe. Back to you.
Thank you, Claire. So just to say at the end, we'll be having there's a Q&A section. So if you've got any questions that are popping into your mind, just type them into the chat as we go through the webinar, or you can hold until the end and we'll get to them. So yeah, so just to sort of build on what Claire is saying there. So LYVA Labs, we've also been funded and supported by the Combined Authority. However, our remit is very much around innovation and R&D. And that's kind of our specialism, whereas Growth Platform is a kind of all-encompassing business support service. We are very much focused around innovation and R&D. So that's kind of our difference, really. So about LYVA Labs, we're here to increase investment in innovation across Liverpool City region by providing tailored consultancy, exploiting the innovation assets that we have within the region, so connecting people to some of those that they may not be aware of, helping to identify and secure funding and investment for those ideas, and inspiring more collaboration across the ecosystem. So that's what LYVA Labs is here to do. More specifically, what is the R&D Partnership Fund, which is why you joined this call. So basically, are you as a business joining this call, do you have a new product or technology idea that challenges the way we do things today and can fuel future growth? So we have funds, so 15k funds in this competition to foster those new R&D partnerships and help develop new product and service ideas towards commercialization. And it is very much around developing new products and services. This isn't a competition focused around process innovation. It's around developing new products and new services that can drive your growth as a business. So we've had one call already in 2023, which was focused around advanced manufacturing, and we've had 3 winners awarded through that, and we'll be able to share more about that in the coming months. We're doing obviously this one today, which is focused around net zero, and the city region has big ambitions around net zero targets and being net zero by 2040, which is 10 years ahead of the UK targets. So there's a big ambition in the region, so we want to try and help that by inspiring some new products and services from businesses in the region. We'll also do another call around health and life science later in the year, we think, so that one will come as well. And we're looking at around 3 projects to be funded in this call. It could be more, but probably around 3 is what we're looking at. So, oh, there's a man there. Ignore the man. How does LYVA Labs support with your R&D journey? So just to talk through how our support goes alongside the funding that we're providing. Because our consultancy team, so I'm included in that, we're free as part of the offer. So we provide the funding, which goes directly towards the project, and then we also provide additional support to you, guiding you through that R&D project, any needs or support that you would need around that. So we're imagining a lot of you on the call have identified a problem or a need to address within your marketplace. We can support around doing some of the market and customer research and proposition development and supporting the project overall through sort of project management techniques. So we do this a lot already with businesses. So this is something we'll offer alongside the funding. Obviously, partner matching is a big part of that. So helping to identify the right partners. You may know them already, you may not know them. We have quite a wide network and reach, so can find those right supports areas that you would require for the project. And the funding is really to seed that development of that partnership. So our funding, the 15K, would go towards funding that work with the external R&D partner to help move the project along, where it might have hit some blockers or challenges so far. And then getting towards the end of our support and our, where we're looking to get to with the project is ultimately finding more funding to carry on that project and get it towards commercialization. So we have a grant writing team within LYVA Labs, and we can provide that support in identifying what those funds might be, but also with developing the application with you to hopefully secure that follow-on funding. So just to highlight some of the businesses we've supported so far around the areas I talked about, so market and customer research, proposition development, and project management support. So here's a few of the businesses we've supported so far, but there's been more. So it's really a deep dive into the project and how we can help you with that. R&D partner matching, the people we've connected to expertise within the region and outside of the region, whoever is best placed basically to help your project. That's kind of what we do there. And we've helped businesses as well with their funding. So we've helped BOMAC secure Launchpad funding for their project, and we supported asset handling with getting onto the Innovate UK GBIT program to Singapore. And there are others as well that we've supported. So that just gives a flavour of kind of what we do as LYVA Labs and the value we bring beyond just the funding. So what's on offer for the competition? As I've said, it's a 15K R&D partner grant from us. And we've obviously highlighted these partners on the screen here because they have additional funds that could potentially support the project as well. So this is where we're trying to kind of match you to the right people, but also maybe increase the amount of funding we have available to get the project going. So as I described, our additional fully funded support from us is around those areas in the previous slides. This is in addition and separate to the 15K grant. Criteria, we're looking for established businesses within Liverpool City region, ideally with a turnover of £1 million+, 3+ employees, and the 15K is match funded by yourselves. So we want to see that you've got skin in the game as well with the project and you're prioritising it as a business. Our funding, the 15K, is for the R&D project costs only. So it wouldn't fund headcount, for example. So as I said, those are the partners that we've got involved. However, it's not exclusive to them. They're people we think would be a great match for this call, but there may be others that might be the right fit. So just to highlight those partners in a bit more detail and the funds that they have in addition to what we have to maybe support the project. So we've got Hartree Centre, who are experts in digital technologies and likes of AI and quantum computing. They have an industry impact fund, which potentially could be a good match for these projects. MTC, more specialised around advanced manufacturing and manufacturing techniques, as well as product development. So they have some specific funding for LCR-based businesses that can give you a 75% discount on a day rate for some of their engineering time. CPI, who are more specialised around process development. So this would be more for liquid-based products. So yeah, processing, scale-up work is where they're focused, and they can offer pre-bid development support to help fund activities with themselves. The Materials Innovation Factory, which is based in the University of Liverpool, have a lot of open access equipment for SMEs to develop new formulations, analyze chemicals, measure formulations, and they have some SME funding up to 7.5K in value to support that work. And then the VEC and LJMU. So the VEC more focused around manufacturing and the use of digital technologies within that. So simulation and modeling, AI and data analytics, robotics, and advanced visualization like VR and things like that. So if that would be useful in the project, they can fund up to 10k in engineering time to access some of that expertise. And similarly, on the same funding program, which is called Horizons, LJMU and their Faculty of Engineering Technology, they have real specialisms within low carbon technologies, which is particularly interesting for this call, as well as maritime. So this is a particularly strong partner for this call. So that they're also an interesting one to look at. Okay, and then next steps, sort of where we are in the journey of this competition. So briefing webinar today. The expression of interest in by the end of January. So I'll share the link in the next slide to access that. It's a very simple form. It's not an Innovate UK application. It's a lot simpler. There's 4 areas to fill out. And it's really for us to just get a quick sense of what the project's about. And then we would arrange a follow-up session with you to discuss it in more detail, understand a bit more about the project and some of the areas that you're looking to develop on, and some of the partners you might have in mind, some of the budget that you might have available for the project. And that would be is basically our full assessment of all the projects that would come into us. And then we would look to award by the end of February. It could be earlier, but yeah, that's kind of the rough timeline. So please express your interest through the link on the page if you want to make a note of that, and hopefully I will put it in the chat as well. Or you can, if you're fancying you've got a phone, you can maybe try and scan that QR code, give it a go anyway. So that is it. Thank you, Ivo.
Question about.
Got a question
The actual funds.
from Juliet. Do you mean the company also funds 15k? Yes, that's correct. So Juliet, it would be 15k from us, from LYVA Labs, 15k from yourselves, so 30k project in total. Any other questions? And hopefully, Juliet, that answered it. Yeah, good. So employees require on the PAYE?
No, it's not a definitive criteria.
Yeah, not definitive. As long as if we're seeing kind of 3 employees, three people well involved in the business, then that would be okay. Wait for Stephen. Not necessarily.
It's not.
Yeah, we're aiming at established businesses. That's the ideal target for this competition. However, if there's a really exciting, interesting project that has big opportunity, then we would look at that. We've had a previous applicant that was in that kind of space, so it's not a hard and fast rule, but does that answer it, Stephen? Great. I'll just wait for 5 more seconds, see if there's any more questions. No. Okay. If you do have questions separately, you can just send me an email. Oh, Matt has got one, so I'm gonna hold off. think Matt was typing into a question and then just maybe have second thoughts. So Matt, if you do have okay. Sorry. Just to say, if this competition isn't a fit for you, that's fine. But get in contact with Claire again to see if there's any other support on offer that might be a good fit. Or we do also have a lot of other support programs on offer from us at LYVA Labs. So have a look on our website to see if something else could be applicable to yourselves. Okay, Matt, sorry. We've been speaking to tech companies about carbon calculators. Let me see if I can turn on your mic, Matt.
That's better.
Hi, Matt.
Can you hear me? Oh, yeah.
Yes, can you?
I was invited to this meeting by Gavin from Mashbro, who thought it might be worth us having a look at this scheme. We're trying to do. We're an SME, turnovers about 25 million. We do a lot of decarbonisation works, but we deliver sort of maintenance, heat and ventilation, air conditioning maintenance, that kind of thing. We've been asked by more and more customers to actually report our carbon and also waste reduction, waste management, that kind of thing, as part of a contract. There's nothing out there at the moment suitable for SMEs to be able to do that. So we've got a sort of a reporting requirement that's coming down the tracks that we don't know how to deal with and how to service without grinding to a halt. Obviously, we need to be able to sort of deliver the day job with 100 engineers, but also be able to add the sort of carbon calculator into the existing sort of digital platforms that we've got, sort of, computer aided facilities management systems, that kind of thing. How do we go about it? Is that the sort of project to develop that kind of thing? At the moment, we've looked at we've been quoted, numbers like £13,000 just to scope out the project and see whether to get some idea of costs to how much it would develop. But is that the sort of thing that would fall under this, or would that be outside of scope, do you think?
It might be. I can't give you an absolute answer.
Okay.
It might be. I think we're best to get a little bit more detail. It depends on the scope of where that could go a little bit. So I'm not going to rule it out, but yeah, worth us having a further chat, I think, Matt.
Yeah. Okay. It's basically needs a complete digital platform to be able to calculate carbon as we work, really, when administering a contract and delivering a contract. Yeah.
Okay. Let's have a follow-up chat, Matt, I think.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Question from Julia.
Well, so I think that's related to Matt's. Yeah. So yeah, it's probably part of the mix, I would imagine. Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you all for joining. Hopefully that's been helpful. As I said, any follow-up questions, just ping me an email and we can chat. So yeah, thank you all for joining.